Alright. Time for more Sicari in the Brink of Time. 28. Non-trivial number of exits. Alright. Change of space. I like the sound of that. Alright, we got that. Everyone loves bullet bills. And flaming tacos. Jumping flaming... Oh, wait a second. Those are probably murderous pipes. Yeah, those look murderous. I don't want any part of those. And I just noticed the launchers are there. Okay. Stabbed. Stabbed a bit. Stabbed too hard. Yeah, stab taco. Is that a pipe? No, it's just cylindrical. Huh. Oh, we get these guys back. As long as I don't want to go back, I will be fine. Oh. And that's why no one likes you, bullet bills. Okay, looks like I have an option. Glad I looked before I leaped. At least a little bit. Well, that wasn't smart. Ugh. Man, I hate bullet bills. You never know when they're gonna proc. Oh yeah, I stepped on the murderous pipe. Alright, I've already gotten that gem. Not gonna worry about it. Much stabbing. Gotta be careful there. Nope. I think I'm just gonna jump. Nope. Should not just jump for it. That is not smart. Not in the slightest. Always gonna get hit by those things. Guess I should just be patient. Oh, change characters is on. Oh, dang it! I got hit by tacos. How you doing, Fedora? My guess is it really wouldn't do much of anything aside from make Sicari a funny color. But could be wrong. Either way, I turned it off. Wish I could, like, automate that, but I don't have anything like that yet. Probably should come up with some sort of, like, metadata system for one-off hacks and whatnot, but eh. Stab. I did clean up the gigantic list of rewards today by turning on deleting ad rewards again. Kinda forgot I'd turned that off. Until I looked at the giant list of rewards and was like, dear lord, there's so many. Because there were so many. But turned it off, life is better. Less likely to break things. I might just set lives to a large number from the get-go, so I just don't have to worry about it. Really shouldn't step on the murder pipe. You gotta learn after a couple tries. But nope. Oop. You know, maybe when we're done, we'll just give it a try for the hell of it and see what happens if we try to change characters in Sicari. because I'm mildly curious what the actual effect would be. Though my anticipation is that it would just make her a funny color. I would be really shocked if Eevee left in, or I died last time, decompressing the sprites from memory into WRAM. That seems kind of pointless. Then again, if you're pretty close to your low raw memory ceiling, it might be worth doing, because this isn't SA1. So I think the max you can get is 4 megabytes? 2 megabytes? I have to look up how the striping works, but I think it's 2 megabytes. And with a little bit of effort, you can make it so you don't have to look in the contiguous graphics 32, graphics 33 region for this sort of thing. I know, because I've written such code. It's not that hard. It's a relatively small hijack, all things considered. I got a feeling like the midway is basically like right there. I'm gonna wait just in case. Hello. Well, I appreciate that. Ooh. I guess at this late stage in the game, it wouldn't make sense for the areas to be that short, I suppose. Ah. Never mind, it makes perfect sense for them to be exactly that short. Alright, midway testing. Like how you take damage at 19 health and you still have a second of aliveness left. Yeah, it's one of those like weird Earthbound type things. It's when the counter runs down, not when you're actually out of HP. It's an important thing. I forgot to turn that off. Ah, I should do that. Wait. I'll do that next death. Right, it won't proc right now, and now it won't proc ever. Oh, wait, that's pipe. You know, I think I really would have preferred the heart. Vastly would have preferred the heart. Let me turn that off real quick, because I wasn't... Oh, when I game over, right? I should just set lives to an arbitrarily high number. It strikes me strange to, Well, I already did that, didn't I? Yeah, I guess I did. Alright. Don't need to deal with that now. Yeah, I think it's random, the kind of death you get every time you die. Yeah, we know. We know it's not really going to be arbitrary. How you doing, Kappa? Hot nose. It's still fairly high. Given I end up dying more for doing stupid things. Just in general. It's kind of convenient. Actually, I tested the midway, so I guess I can try and get all the gems this time. That would be kind of fun. Go. Maybe I should push the jump button. That might make the difference. It might just. Why do I keep getting hit by all the damn tacos? Delicious, delicious tacos. Flaming Dorito tacos. Man, I am getting owned by tacos. Those are a little bit awkward, but whatever. Oop. Fall right through it. Maybe we should just murder that one again. Oh. Right, it's not having the fan open that causes the loud noises, it's having the door open that does. Kinda nice. It'd be nice if this level had some Baja Blast. Oh, it would be. I had some Baja Blast the other day. I noticed they were doing 3 different types of Baja, or yeah, 3 different types. Like they got the mango, they got the something else, and the classic. And I had a classic. Didn't feel like I wanted a different kind of dew. Baja Blast can be just fine. Though I haven't been to a Taco Bell in I don't know how long. Just had a craving for, God, what were those things? Nacho Supreme the other day, and I'm like, you know, I could pay a lot of money to get a Nacho Supreme delivered to me, but I'm not going to. Because they're terrible for you. Delicious, but terrible. I wonder if they deliver Baja Blast. Oh, come on. I'm not down to 19 yet. Okay, this is looking not terrible. Not happy with how that went. One more time. Don't need to be down there. Baja Blast is literally the flavor of Mountain Dew. You can't flavor the flavor of a thing. They're not exactly the same. No. I'm not sure what you're supposed to do there, but I can guarantee you that wasn't it. And at least the game is kind enough to let you know. Yeah, I guess not. I think the Mountain Dew flavor that I think I mostly enjoy the most is probably Code Red. Oh, right, you can jump on those things normally if you aren't being silly. Oh, for fuck's sake. Immediately lose all of my useful abilities. I guess I have to do it slow with the standard jumps now. That's what it was trying to teach me earlier, but I'm not learning. Blue Powerade and Mountain Dew mixed? Huh. It's not the most unreasonable theory I've ever heard. Don't know if I buy it, but it's not unreasonable. In fact, they'd probably be pretty easy to test, given you could just go to a soda fountain. I remember that Taco Bell's used to have Blue Gator or Powerade on hand, but at least the one in Factoria used to a million years ago. Another place I haven't gone in a very long time, except when I had to get my car serviced. Not the Taco Bell Factoria. Right, regular jumps. You think I'd learn by now. Did learn to duck. There we go. Bump, bump, bump. I just don't read those things as cannons. No matter how many times I see them, I just don't read them as them. Okay. My theory, I need to be not spin jumping for this. Oh, hey, look. A non-sparky animal. Definitely correct on that front. Well, good enough. Step, and collect. Not too shabby. Sergeant Bolts. I wonder who this could be. Ah, yes. The Great Peridian Gold Rush. Just like the movies, eh? These little mini towns appeared all around Peridia. Unfortunately, things were a little too successful. Gold became so worthless that they had to change the currency. And that, kids, is today why we use Sapphire. That was a useful history lesson. What happens when you devalue the gold standard? Ron Paul was right. Right, tacos don't go backwards. I feel very silly. Nope, not enough velocity. What's that do? Oh, you just need a little more velocity. Yep. Hey. Well, I still got hit twice. Huh. It's odd that I never tried that before this moment. Even never had an opportunity to. Oh, I like the miner spray. Very, Mega Man. Oop. No more tacos. No, you can't stab those. Getting the gimmick. Alpha. Oh. Had one more than expected. It has to kill both things. It is not going to kill both things. It would be so convenient. Not today, Taco. Alfred. I was not ready. The greed got me too. That's the thing about greed. Usually punishes you somehow. Alright. Alright, start on the left. Look, they always kind of look like they're almost about to fall off, but then they don't. I don't want to launch you upward. Timing on that, I don't think I fully understand yet. God, I hate Hammer Bros so much. I'm gonna stay ducking. Ducking was the right call there. Ah. This bodes poorly for my chances of beating this level. What? I ain't played Mario RPG in a while. One of those, I'd like to do this, but I know it's a bad idea given all of the other things I probably should be doing. Had an idea yesterday that I think might pan out to fix some USB stuff for the NES, so I'm going to give it a shot. I've thought of a way to do it that is not painful. At least I think it won't be painful. But we'll see. I also started listening to a memoir of Teddy Roosevelt, which is pretty nifty. Mostly about his youth instead of his presidential accomplishments. Only part that's kind of confusing is his dad is also Theodore. Really wish I could stab TNT. That probably would result in badness, though. Love to claim that was well-timed and intelligent, but I think it was mostly just bullshit. There we go. I thought, so I must have just gotten a little bit too close and ended up inside his hitbox. Nothing too bad. Alright, come down to the taco stand. Of course. The thing I really needed before, and immediately wasted. What's down here? Oh, nothing. Oh, this part's got some severe slowdown. Marker down for that. You love this stage's boss? I kind of guessed why you might like it. I have an idea. I have a vague idea. What? What's the point of this hole? How you doing, Faro? This pit is filled with fire. I do not like the fire pit. Yes! Alright, now to stand inside a miner. And wait for death. That was weird. See if that happens next time. So we all know it's gonna take me more than a couple deaths to clear this boss. Probably even traverse this part of the stage, honestly. Though the areas after midways for bosses in boss levels tend to be pretty short. I guess we're going to the saloon. Wait a second. We're getting on top of the saloon. I'm not sure why. But we certainly are getting on top of it. Ah, there it goes. I'm not too bad. Well, actually, I've got a bunch of things I can complain about, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna read the text instead. I'm sorry, but we don't belong. But you don't belong here. We can help get you. Wait, we can help you get back to your own time period. Outlaws detected. Initiating justice protocol. Prepare for incineration in the name of the law. Yeehaw. Hey. You're the one drinking on the job. I'll have your badge, officer. Alright. Sergeant Bolts. Ooh, this is cute. I notice I'm not doing very much damage. Oh, it's a hat guy. Of course it had to be a hat guy. That's how these bosses work. He has explosives. Oh, wow, this is... this is ridiculous. And there goes the other bottle. Hat. Ah, wait, I can throw these? Alright, mistakes were made, but we learned something important. I don't think that hurt him, though. So notice the sunlight coming through the windows now, too. That's a nice touch. What's sad is I think this is the boss I've figured out the fastest, at least in terms of how to not die. Took me a while for Tank Baby. This seems fine. No, I don't want that. Do not need sticky fingers. Ah, dang it. If you had to guess this boss's Melon Pizza's doing, that would make a lot of sense given that I know that Melon Pizza worked on a later boss. There were some questions earlier about whether or not this hack works on an SNES Classic, and Sicari was curious if I was using that or SD to SNES, and I noticed that it doesn't work because it uses a massive amount of RAM, SRAM, like a humongous amount of SRAM. I'm like, well, that's your problem. And she's like, oh, I don't. They were like, oh, I don't think I had any RAM expansion, but nope, totally did. And the reason for that apparently is a boss, according to Melon Pizza. So I'm looking forward to said boss that needs that much SRAM because that is bizarre to me. But it's a lot of SRAM. Okay. I misread that. Didn't misread hat, though. Excellent. It destroys the bottles, too. Yeah, I absolutely love this. Not happy with the amount of damage I've taken. Mostly because I can't read this font to save my life. I think it's 70? No, it's definitely 30. It's 39 now. I got 2 hits left. Got 1 hit left. I did better than my first try. I mean, basically, if he's ever in the window, you should just get underneath the bar. Like, there's no attack I've seen so far that doesn't justify it. Roll the same dice. Oh! And that's why you don't stand in the middle of the bar. So you know 100%. SRAM fucks with the SNES Classic. It doesn't fuck with it. The emulator just doesn't support large amounts of SRAM. That's really it. Nintendo's official emulator just is like, nah, no one would ever need that much SRAM for a real Nintendo game. And so you can't do it. That's pretty much it. I vaguely recall reading for the SNES Classic, you could like get a firmware that, or well, basically replace the emulator with like SNES 9X. Or RetroArch or something. Because it is just like a little Raspberry Pi embedded programmable environment, so. But not as cool as, not as convenient as a real Raspberry Pi, I suppose. In the sense you can run any code without having to do like signing nonsense or tricking it or something. I don't know. I don't know anything about it, honestly. So. I just know the emulator does not like big SRAMs, and I cannot lie. Which is strange, because basically the maximum size of SRAM on the SNES, I think, can only be measured in kilobytes. Like, it's not exactly hard to implement more SRAM. As far as, like, emulator development goes, once you've implemented SRAM, you're basically done. I still kind of wish that the Dynamite did something to him. Hat time! Ooh, I can stab Dynamite, too! Yay, I can stab Dynamite. That's fun. Not useful, but fun. Throwing is much more productive than stabbing. His hat aim is better than his gun aim. Not a phrase you get to say every day. Well, that didn't really do what I wanted. Worked out okay, though. We'll probably get in trouble for throwing away his protective hat. Well, I guess I'm gonna stand in the middle here. Okay. I'm looking forward to the post scene here. I'm very curious what this robot is going to say. Or at least I hope there's some sort of post scene. Yeah, I'm definitely digging this. Alright. Well, that worked. Kind of fell into him rather than land on him with the spin jump. Oh, he's exploded. I guess he's not going to be saying anything afterwards. Ask questions first, then jump on him. One day we'll learn. Background doing quick random flashes. Yeah, when I load into this level, it seems to be doing that. I don't know why. I put a marker down for it, though. I've caught a couple of things. I think it probably has to do with HDMI, or HDMA, but I can't prove it. Sicari for inclusion in Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah, they're better than some options. Thank you for the GGs. Ah, welcome back. You've defeated the last of TS-94's lackeys. Good. Now we have some news from our tests. Seems the shards of Serpos contain vestigial power from the gods themselves. We have concluded that some of these shards were used to create the eyes of Serpos, Nova, and Balance. Okay. Godly power. Great! We can use it to kick Buckethead's ass. Not quite. I wield the Eye of Nova, yet I lack the knowledge to bring forth its true potential. What's up, Noah? How you doing? Even the poor warp station is being pushed to its limits after just a few timed hops. T94, or TS94, has the Eye of Balance. If she indeed does know how the shards work, that alone is way too much power. And all the other shards? She still wants them too? Yes. She likely plans to use the combined power of the gods to unbind whatever from the void of illusion. I don't know why I have so much trouble with that word. Then we'll take the fight to her. Zira, can you rig the warp station to take us to the Void of Illusion? I suppose. If it can do time travel, it'll probably melt when we're done with it, though. Mind you. You can all stay here and protect the shards. Okay? Are you with me? Always, Car. Oh, Kari. Almost mistook that for another exclamation point. You are incredibly foolish, Mashai, waltzing straight into danger with little regard. That's what I do best! Got a better plan? No. Sicari is right. But don't choke on your confidence. This won't be easy. Well, if this is what you want. Hey, there's a Moogle? What's this? Findings on the eyes. The Eye of Serpos, believed to have been created by the Varian Serpos during the Deity War. Our analysis shows that at least 5 shards of Serpos were used to create the eye. This eye was sought by the Sanguis vampires, who attempted to unbind Niskura with the belief that she would show them how to unlock the eye's true power. The Eye of Nova. Lunar Cult Archives suggests that it was created at the climax of the Deity War by Estriel Kaguma, who used both the shards of Serpos and a sacrifice of her own soul to power the eye and combat Serpos. Her soul lives on through the eye. The Eye of Balance. It was created by the Order of Life's Blessed during the Deity War out of fear of the other 2 eyes. Following the Order's destruction, it was safely hidden at the Lunar Shrine before it was abandoned. This eye contains considerable power, likely being having created from more shards than either of the other 2 eyes combined. Appreciate that Sicari swears. It is a nice little feature. Mr. Snuggles! Whee! I'm glad I talked to that guy first. He knows what's up. Whoever is locked behind that helmet, bring her back safe. She doesn't deserve to suffer like this. And of course, keep yourselves safe too. You've got this. I'm with you, Kari, every step of the way. Just say the word. Thunderbird. I never got the chance to thank you for saving this realm from Niskura. I am more than proud to call you my... Well, I pray that one day we may become more acquainted. For now, though, the Void of Illusion awaits. TS-94 and Detrustia. Why I have such a problem with this word? Must not succeed. Go with fortune, Mashai. More challenges lie ahead. Yet the gods have deemed you worthy. I place my faith in you. Go with them. I already read this. Different person. I'm scared that we're asking too much of you. I don't know what to do if you... Sorry. You girls have done great, and I'll be damned if some buckethead is going to end your streak. Give her hell. Alright, cool. That's very purple. Oh, I can't go to the next stages. This is a linear section. Guess that's what happens when you go to the Void of Illusion. Alright, Event Horizon. I prefer the occurrence border, but you know. Good, we can still get through to you. You're in the Void of Illusion. The realm is becoming very unstable, though. No doubt, thanks to TS-94's meddling. Proceed with caution. Ooh, choices. Not really. Definitely not really. It's one of these levels. I don't know why, but I kind of thought it would be important to save the second one. I'm already dead, aren't I? Yep. Gives you PSTD after bits and pieces. I could see that. Was this the track for that one level that took forever? I think I caught some of that. No. Knowing I'm coming back, I'm just murdering everything this time. Goodbye, Sniffit variants. You won't be missed. I'm so bad at that. I think I just got very lucky. Oh. I don't want anything to do with this pot. But at least I know that it takes a few seconds for it to spawn things. Dang it. Virus soup? That sounds familiar. I wonder where this track's actually from. And no, I'm pretty sure it's not Last Bible. Why am I trying to rush this? I don't need to rush this. I can take this at exactly the pace I want to take it. Well, kind of. I need to jump off this critter early. And then time that. And then I'm just gonna wait for that stuff to go. Hopefully respawn the pot. Did not respawn the pot. I stepped... Oh, God. One of the special world levels in bits and pieces. There. How many exits is bits and pieces? I recall it being a lot. Oh, God. No, he has to die. I just realized that that particular Sniffit would be causing me problems. Ah, okay. God. I'm just not doing this level well at all. Nope. 50-something? Okay. That's not too bad. Admittedly, it is a lot, though. Especially when you consider the length of the levels. I've only ever played one of Level Engine's things, and I remember quite distinctly spending upward of, I think it was like 3 streams. It was something like 3 streams to beat one specific level. Not an experience I need again. The funny thing is, like, the final level was actually pretty easy. Oh no, comparatively. The Celeste-inspired level was definitely the hardest thing in that hack by a fair margin. It's my lucky bullet. With the feeling I'm just about to become distinctly unlucky. Okay, it's one of these levels. This is gonna get confusing quick, isn't it? Okay. Sent me something. Big Brawler played Cracks Cafe on their YouTube today. You have a special thumbnail. Hey, that was you in the final level bits. Oh yeah. Oh, that's cute. He's good. I've seen some of his other like artwork. Big Brawler's got a good sketch sense. I wish I had anything vaguely resembling art skills. Always quite jealous of those sorts of things. Oh, I forgot that thing shoots. What's up, Dorg? How you doing? That's an adorable thumbnail. Yeah, I sent Desi my graph of Zelda 2's Death Mountain area, I believe it is, the maze. He got to see my atrocious handwriting. I've been asked by more than one person, can I actually read my handwriting? And the answer is sometimes. I made the jump. Yeah, I'll probably post that somewhere on the internet too, because I kind of like the graph part. The graph part looks nice. Or the map looks nice. Though my vague instructions to myself are not very well written or useful. Zelda 2 being that kind of game, you need to take notes. I need to not take as much damage. Please? Nope. Okay. I'm gonna let that respawn. How many times? It wasn't even there that long. What's up, Prestinator? How did Titan Mario treat you? I followed in after Hawalucha's raid for a little bit, but didn't stick around because I was busy doing other things, getting ready for this stream mostly. Oh wait, why am I doing it the hard way? I can just do that. Yeah. Being very unclever today. Rid of all of the little Pac-Man pellet bullets. Stab the tacos. It was good. I don't worry about it. Got through Wonky, which was the ice level. Oh, nice. I'm gonna have to come back this way. It's gonna be confusing. I can spin jump. Why in the world would I make this harder on myself? But nice. Good job getting through that. Yeah, I was watching some sort of Yoshi level. It was very purple. I wish I could claim I've had a decent day of accomplishing things, but I had to cancel some stuff I wanted to do. I said earlier, I can complain about things, but I don't really need to complain much in the grand scheme of things. I guess really my only complaint is my cough's gotten a little bit worse. I'm gonna go see someone about it tomorrow, which is always fun. Nothing like more than going to some sort of medical place. That suggestion of somebody, it was like, yeah, you know, what would suck? Pneumonia. You should get it checked. I'm like, fine. Pneumonia would suck. Ain't nobody got time for that. Better get it over with. Go see a doctor, make sure I'm not having pneumonia. God, I hate things that spawn other things. I'm very happy those things just despawned. This was the guy I need to stab. He's still alive somewhere. The feeling, if I'm thinking of the map correctly, I'm not that far away from the midway. You just go. I don't need you here. Just go. Okay. Got rid of the little dude. Brilliant. Alright, just gonna hang out my box. Dr. Mario just followed you on Twitter? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, this hack is so cool. You should play it. And if you haven't played, like, the OG Sicari first, play that one, too, because it's also very good. I mean, not the OG, but, like, you've got an SNES, SD to SNES now, so you should play the Sicari Remastered, because it's less broken. Testing the midway. Another, like, really good remastered one was, Catastrophe. Now, that's a really good standard. Very puzzly hack. But it's awesome, and inspired a lot of stuff that happens that Barb did in Grand Poo World 2, actually. The clock room is directly from that. Or at least the clock ASM is very similar. Okay, one, I don't want to die that way, but two, I'm curious. This feels oddly constructed. No, it is not oddly constructed, it just looks interesting. I'll take a different ride, thank you. Okay, so I can't go back up there. I'm fine with that. Boop. Idle Hands was so hard. Underestimated it, thought it was going to be easy. While playing console, it's so amazing, so accurate. Yeah, it's an awful lot of fun, especially if you get a CRT rigged up, because, oh god. I have a feeling that might have been something interesting up there. Because then the latency is really low. Need a better SNES controller, or well-new rubbers. Rubbers aren't too expensive if you have a local game store. I think Pink Gorilla used to be Pink Godzilla, but the Godzilla people were unhappy with that. Sells them for like less than $1. Or at least less than $5. It's been a while. Now that I have a giant box of SNES controllers, I don't think I'll ever buy rubbers again. If I had a P.O. box, I'd probably volunteer just to send you a Super Famicom controller. But I do not, so... I'll take a picture of that at some point. There's like 50 of them in that box. Well, not quite 50. Because I took out a couple, and one of them is a Wii Super Famicom controller, not a real Super Famicom controller. But other than that... Just have zero idea what to get in. I mean, you just go up and say, I need some rubbers for the Super Nintendo. That's pretty much how that works. Okay, wait for the thing to be on the left. Right works too. Okay. There is no secret up there. I tried. Oh, what's up, Big Jarby? How you doing? Yeah, how would you mail a Super Nintendo controller? You just put it in like an envelope? I'm not very good at mail. I remember the last time I sent an actual anything through the mail that wasn't a return ballot. In fact, I didn't even drop those in the mail anymore, and I think about it, because they changed the rules. I bought a bunch of stamps just for the purposes of voting, and then they made it so you don't have to pay money to return your ballot anymore, with the purposes of, don't have to use stamps anymore. And that pissed me off, so now I always hand-deliver my ballot to the ballot box. Because I bought those damn stamps, and now I can't use them for anything. Because who sends letters these days using stamps? Like, if I had to pay bills through the mail, I'd care, but like, no, I don't pay bills through the mail. I pay bills online, like every civilized person at this point in time. Writing checks and sending it through the post with licked stamps? Ugh, barbaric. Anyway, envelope, box, whatever, fair. One issue controls over the years is that you got a sticky B button, which is awful. Yeah, definitely, if you're playing on real console, you should look into getting new rubbers, especially if you've been using them for a long time. I eventually replaced... I've got a new controller, then I replaced the rubbers in that controller, and then I think I just pulled a different controller out of the box, giant box of controllers. And despite the fact that that one QLDC did kind of damage the R button, it's still doing pretty well. That one 72-hour QLDC level definitely took a little spring out of its step. There we go. I'm not sure what W in brackets means. My Kirby emoticon dictionary is not up to date. Redshift! Got it. It's one of these levels. What's the Mega Man boss that does this? Like Flash Man or Light Man? I'm probably going to regret not going down that. I am 100% regret. Those kill you instantly. Good to know. Redshift's one of your favorite levels? Well, I'm a big fan of this ASM in general, though I kind of prefer it to use Mega Man-style scrolling if possible. Okay, you can't jump up there. if you wanted to do that. Fast Man? What's up, Weregoose and Suek? How you doing? Both of you. Level was your life farm. Interesting. Or Quick Man. Quick Man sounds more correct. Yeah, that's the intended route. That's why it was your life farm. Things make sense now. I should have kept that. It might have been useful. It did the thing again. Test result came back negative, so you're glad? Oh, good. Very good. Right. You can't take a second to think about things. Just the summer flu or cold. So yeah, no, that's not a big deal at all. Just got to get yourself some rest, fluids, vitamin C, chicken soup, that kind of thing. Yeah, if I hadn't already set my lives to a relatively arbitrarily high number, I probably would use this for life farming. No. Huh. Yeah, I ran into that issue where... That was... Yeah, the weird sprite thing. I ran into that in a different level. I don't think it's my tech that's doing it. Because this is non-SA1. I'm not running any code actively. So... I sent it to Eevee, and they didn't know what to do with didn't know what was up with it. I guess I don't need more lives. I still can't read this font to save my life. I'd have 97 lives or 57 lives. Ever played one of these levels that goes up instead of down? No, I don't believe I have. That would definitely be different. I'm trying to think it'd be more fun or less fun. I think it'd probably be more challenging. Because when you're moving up, well, falling has the advantage of you're falling down, and you can do that at a relatively fast rate. Whereas jumping up things, you got to be a lot more careful. I could totally see a cool Kaizo level made with this being a major constraint in your movement. Like, you've just got to keep moving. I guess it'd be a lot like a Sky Tree. Dang it, in a way. It'd be cool, though. It would definitely be cool. There was one contest. I wasn't a judge for it. I'm trying to remember which one, but I played a bunch of levels from it. I don't think it was QLEC either. But someone used this assembly. No, maybe it was, actually. Maybe it was the 24-hour contest one with the... Yeah, it was the 24-hour contest one with, like, the theme of sun. Or fire, or whatever it was. But yeah, someone made a level like this. It was very Mega Man-esque. That was a fun level. Don't hesitate. EU hesitates, gets destroyed by red lasers. Toxic Tower, Castle Crush from DKC2, or Ripsaw Rage from DKC3. That's true that those all have a vertical scrolling component that is trying to murder you, but it's not individual lasers. Though in practice, the difference may not be that much. The saw one I always thought was a bit silly because, like, it's a saw. You're chopping the tree up. That's not how trees work. Like, wouldn't the tree just fall down if it was bisected from the bottom? But I got problems with DKC3. And I'll play DKC2 any day of the week. DKC1 I certainly would be happy to play almost any time. DKC3, man. No. There's so many weird ideas in that game. Like, the open overworld map. Like, why? The trading simulation. The insane... I mean, you're already dealing with insane collectathons as DKC, but the even more ridiculous collectathon stuff. And finally, that last boss, or the actual final boss, is a pain because you can't actually hit him with Dixie, I don't think. You absolutely have to keep Kiddy Kong alive the whole time, and Kiddy Kong is not a very good character. So, I could rant for days, but I'm not going to. Not to mention, like, the bosses. Distinctly feel like the bosses in DKC3, you're just kicking someone's ass, and they didn't have anything to do with any of this. Like, in the original DKC, you end up, you know, hurting people who stole your bananas. This makes sense. They stole your bananas. You demand restitution. But in DKC3, like, all these dudes are just, like, chilling. Like, there's a big sea urchin, but why would you kick his ass? There's what appears to be a giant crab behind a waterfall. He was literally just minding his own business and had a box of Band-Aids. I guess the robot guy, the spider. Well, the spider had the Band-Aids. But either way, the spider was just minding his own business. You know, he wasn't doing nothing. So yeah, I don't know. DKC3, not as good as the first one. Admittedly, boss logic was never the strongest in the DKC series. You do, in fact, beat up an oil drum for the hell of it. So, tangent is an orgasm. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's definitely weird. To be fair, though, we actually do know why DKC3 is so different. They were busy working on their first N64 games, I believe, Banjo. The A team was working on Banjo. The B and C teams were working on DKC3. So. Oh, shit. Oh, that's what happens when there's no message in a level. What's up, Risto? Scream Kid, Lindschlecker, Blue Ribbon, Risto, of course, Oreos. Vassimi, how you doing? Couldn't find anything interesting to eat, so came back with 6 apricots and a knife. Well, I hope that is tasty. Thank you for the raid. What were you up to? I think I saw you playing... Oh, what was it? Crap. Sayonara 2, I think? Having fun with a heart Maori ball. Yeah, so usually there's some sort of useful message that displays, but because Sicari World is Sicari 2 is a relatively advanced hack, it uses a new fancy thing called the Layer 4 text patch, where it turns on a mode that gives you a 4th layer you can render on, between those 2 bars right there where it's corrupted. But because of the fact that there's no message for this level, apparently, it does this instead. So yeah, usually there's a message that's useful and says something about the raid, but not today, and hopefully it doesn't kick me out of level. So. Oh, that's the wrong way to go. At the final boss and have 1 attempt in. Oh, nice. I've heard really cool stuff about the final boss. Yes. Layer 4. Well, the reason why games don't use Layer 4 very much is because if you do the mode that allows you to use 4 layers, you only get 3 colors per layer and a background color, which isn't great. It's much more like the NES in graphical stylings. Of course, you still have you still have the full, 16 palettes. But you only get the 4 colors in each of those palettes. So, I don't know if it's used in a lot of games, but I don't think it is, compared to the normal mode for Mario World, which is 3 layers. The first 2 layers get 16 colors each. And that's why I should jump over that instead of under it. And the final layer gets 4 colors. So, it's a really cool piece of tech that kind of frees up some space, and means you can still have text boxes in the levels that have a layer 3. So, I suppose I should say something about what I'm doing. You know, I'm PatCDR, I'm a moderator for SMW Central, and I'm moderating this hack. Just came out during the most recent C3. Basically what moderation is, it's a sort of quality assurance check to see if things meet our core values and aren't severely broken. And so far there's been basically nothing broken in this that's significant, and I'm really bad at getting lasered. Usually we're doing some nonsense with USB to SNES. That's why I have the Mario Maker death pins on the screen. Whenever I die, it reads the position and plots it on the screen. And it is cumulative, so as I die a lot, the screen can actually get quite full of death pins. And of course, like, alerts and stuff are usually handled that way, but it doesn't work so well with Sicari, but I don't really feel like turning it off. Because I kind of forgot the command to turn it off. I have way too many bot commands. In fact, I ran into the issue of Twitch is unhappy with IRC messages longer than 500 characters when trying to enumerate them all for one of my other modes. Or breaks that rules, that's true. Yes, North Arctica, this is SMW. This is the second, also hi Max. This is the most recent in the Sicari series, which, if you're going to play them, I'd recommend starting with Sicari Remastered, because it's built for more modern emulators and more modern flashcards and whatnot. But yeah, it's 100% a Super Mario World hack. In fact, oh dang it, I probably should have done that before I entered the level again. Yeah, whatever. Let me show you one of the other cool features of this hack. Because it is an interesting hack. It also has a feature to switch between two characters. So this block here lets us switch between Sicari and K14. Crap, I always forget what her number is. But basically she plays more like Mega Man instead of Sicari, who plays more like Mario. I do not need this block. She has a slightly lower top speed, but she does have her projectile, which is nice. And she sinks in water levels, which can be a bit of a problem. And this particular feature was also in the OG version, Sicari Remastered. I played like a million years ago. Really fun hack. So, standard peeps go crazy. Yep, K16. Thank you, Fedora. You're also saying for a minute you thought this was Mega Man. Yeah, when I played through Sicari Remastered, I pretty much played with just K16. But for this, I've been mostly going Sicari because I like having a slightly higher top speed. And there's something just fun about stabbing things. Any melee, not melee, well, like Smash Melee, but any melee enjoyer in a first-person shooter can attest. It's kind of fun to kick, stab, chainsaw, I forget what other ones, punch things. It also has a health system. You can look in the upper left-hand corner and see I have 79 out of 99, but these lasers do not care. They kill you regardless, so. Doom Guy Zerker. He punches a lot, I think, in that. I thought Doom might have had like multiple different melees. I've not actually played that much Doom. It's been on my list of things to do at some point. Especially play some of those WADs I saw on BBS's back in the day, but I couldn't play for reasons of my mom didn't want us playing Doom. Always kind of wanted to play the ones that involved killing Barney, because Barney was all the rage, and I had a couple sisters who were the right age to enjoy that show. I don't know if I still kind of hate Barney, but I probably do. But yeah. In fact, I did get Doom for Windows 95 set up on this machine over here, though now that I've got it working with capture stuff with DOS working better, because I actually do have like this legit Windows 98 machine over here. I probably would just use the DOS version now, since that is the real OG. As fun as the Windows version is. If you've never seen it, the Bill Gates video where he's promoting Windows 90, well, both Doom and Windows 95 at the same time is pretty funny. It's the kind of thing Microsoft used to do a lot of. I don't know if they still do. Almost. Don't interrupt me. Yep. When I worked at Microsoft a million years ago, they had one where they were doing a Star Wars parody. I don't remember exactly, but it was all the people in charge of Windows server stuff. And Steve Ballmer was Yoda. That's the one bit I actually remember. I don't remember any of the content. I don't remember anything else. But Steve Ballmer was Yoda, and he did a pretty okay job being Yoda. Lousy job being a CEO, but he did a pretty good job being Yoda. Windoom, yep. Yeah, the story of that was, like, bizarre. I think they had a big party at Microsoft before that unveiling and had, like, Gwar do the aesthetics or something. Very, very different times. I think they did the 16, 17, 18 cafeteria app, which was, like, one of the bigger spaces at Microsoft. Might still be, honestly. Though they've been doing a lot of remodeling on the main campus. Whenever I end up on the east side, I like to do a drive-by, take a look to see what's changed. The biggest change, of course, is that Microsoft is going to get the light rail to their door. When they finally complete the east side light rail that goes through Bellevue. Dang it, whatnot. Spin jumping might be smarter there. I think it's due to open next year, so that should be fun. Not that I imagine I'll end up taking it all that often. The light rail is not terribly convenient for me, but it's nice to know it's an option. In fact, I still haven't taken it up to Northgate, and that was the most recent branch that opened up. Figured if I went and saw a movie, that's where I'd go see it. Dang it. Anyway. If you'll excuse me a sec. Still recovering from a bit of a cold flu sort of thing I had earlier this month. She looked at the calendar and was like, oh, I've had this for like 20 days. I probably should go see someone about it now. I've got a appointment to go see someone about it tomorrow. Which is probably smart. You don't want, like, untreated pneumonia. An awful lot of things that are untreated turn into worse things, or how my sister got scarlet fever. There we go. You know, I don't even care. How is this gonna kill me? It's not. Midway, alright. One of those moderating things I do is make sure the midway works. So I always try to just die pretty soon after getting one of those. Also, the death animations are fantastic. But yeah, turns out if you ignore strep throat, it turns into scarlet fever. Don't ignore strep throat. Go get your amoxicillin. Or the pink bubblegum tasting medicine you got for when you had strep throat as a kid. Alright, you can't spin jump on these things. What am I doing? I need a key. Well, it's changed its tenor just a little bit. Kind of wonder if we're gonna get like a Phanto effect thing where the moment I steal this key, lasers are going to get loose. It's not. So. Just the other major thing is I'm gonna play some more Zelda 2 on Sunday, hopefully. Oh god. Got started on that because Desi requested it. Had some fun doing some NES to USB to NES stuff for that. It's a very... Oh, that was a lot easier. That was way easier than the first section. Holy cow. Which is very different than USB to SNES. I don't like it quite as much, and I have some bugs in my code somewhere. Though probably not the NES side, because Fiskbit has looked at it. Didn't find anything terribly interesting, sadly. Would have much rather known what the problem is. But I still think it's... I don't know what it is. My current working theory is I'm not moving enough data through the bus at specific intervals. Oh, okay. It's another one of those fancy new telescope pictures. This next level is probably your favorite looking level. Celestial... Crap, I missed it. Get easily confounded by circular motion. It is understated. They got that nice eclipse background. Oh man. I don't think that that's a spot I need to investigate. Oh, why do you think I hit? Is this a wall? That's a wall. I don't know why, but I didn't think that was a wall. Alright, well thanks. I definitely needed a saw. Find a saw. Ooh. TS-94. Adversaries have arrived in the Void of Illusion. This outcome was expected. Bring the shards of Serpos to me, so that I may fulfill. Bzz. Interference detected. Resetting primary systems. Incapacitating organic host. Is someone there? Please help. Bzz. Oh, well, that thing's dead. Can I shoot this? Nope. There is a key. Oh, hey! These are finally back. So yeah, these are character gates. First time we're seeing them in this hack. Cannot go through the yellow ones as K-19, and cannot go through the green ones as Sicari. That's 2 items I need. Okay, those walls are still weirding me out. Sucker for this kind of aesthetic. Null space. Yeah, that's true. Null space does exist. Hey! Got my P-switch jump. Probably shouldn't have spent time dithering about it. Oh, I'm dead. Doesn't matter. My laziness in P-switch timing was probably not helping either. Kind of the annoying thing about P-switch jumps is they, in fact, make your life worse when you get them, because you might need that P-switch time that you just wasted by jumping off of them. Oh no. Yep, still saw. Alright, we do not need that again, though. That's all that's up there. I was kind of hoping there might be something else that's cool. Probably shouldn't try to dupe that block. Much fun as block duping is. God damn, that thing is fast. Alright. Okay. I need to come back as the robot. Which might happen sooner than I think. Yep. I'm not good at identifying walls. Keep thinking that's empty space. Or that could be the setup, but we'll go in as the robot. What time do I want to do this jump? Not then. Not then. Still think that's kind of cruel. Oh! Right, so okay, because of that gate, I couldn't have done it as the robot anyway. That's... If the rate had happened during this level, we would have seen that dialogue independent of the character. Alright, cool, not dead. Let's not get killed by the ring. I see. If you were fast, you could have done that. No, those are different kinds of blocks, because I gotta get back as K-16. I can't, she also can't spin jump. That's the other disadvantage to using her. Alright. Oh god, there's so many circles. Too many circles. I am not good with circles. Oh. Eh. I guess for this first part, it doesn't really matter who I'm playing as. Though admittedly, I've done mildly better. Well, mildly. There's also wall jumping. I feel I should mention that. Alright, go back to Sicari. Because there's nothing to shoot. No, I'm just happy to take a hit there, honestly. It's just easier than getting the timing to line up between those two things. Calculus I'm fine with. Like, differential. And quite unlike integral. It depends upon the kind of integral, I suppose, but as long as it's not that integral. A friend of mine tormented me with an integral for a number of years. Still does occasionally. Okay, this is fair. Okay. Like I said, circles are definitely my weakness. Did you mention you're ever so slight disappointment with our C3 thread did? I don't think you did. I mean, the thing about the C3 is there wasn't any, like, gimmick to encourage people to post, which was a good thing and a bad thing, honestly. It's a good thing in the sense that, like, anytime someone actually posted something, they probably had something to say that wasn't silly or superfluous. Well, made it through that. But overall, I would imagine the volume of posts was probably a bit lower. I actually thought about trying to write a post about USB to NES, but I never quite found the time or inclination. If and I do, I suppose I can save it for next C3 if I feel the need to. I just like that saw. I feel like me and that saw could be friends. That's a saw I'm okay finding. I just really don't want to jump on that platform for some reason. Value feedback and opinions were like kind of sad. 3 out of 4 comments were friends. One of which was Hooded Edge saying is happy you made it through it at all. At least that's nice. I mean, honestly, getting replies at all is kind of nice for C3 to some extent. Certain you've heard the story. I got the, was it Most Overlooked award one year. Nobody replied to my post. To be fair, I did make it pretty late in the whole process, but not late in the replying time. Just late in the posting time. But always next year. And next year we'll probably have a more fun gimmick. Like, I don't know, see-through battle monsters or something. Saw's cool. You like that Saw as a champ, just casually saying hi to us on his way to SawCon. I like that. Oh, thank you for the follow. This would normally show a follow thing, but instead we get to read this text again as the robot explodes. So really only got 2 no comments from people you know to talk to. We're both impressed with your project. Well, at least there's 2. I mean, that's an upside. There were 2 people out there who were impressed with your projects. It's a small thing, but still, it's a victory. God, I hate these circles. Whereas this Saw is not my friend. We can't be friends. We're not going to SawCon together. Could also go to the Saw Hop. But that's fair. There's always high hopes. I was trying to remember, I looked at your thread. I probably should reply to things more in general. I'm not very good at doing that, I will confess. But generally, I think in terms of like C3, having like actual like a demo is more important than having nice pictures. In terms of getting feedback, I don't remember if you had any demos, but I read the thread like 2 days ago. There was a project I wanted to work on for the C3, but I was sick, so I didn't actually get to do anything on it. It's one of those, like, things I've been meaning to do for a while, and I probably should just sit down and spend, like, the hour or two I'd need to finish it at this point. The biggest problem I was having was I needed a build environment that did not cause my lap to catch on fire. Which is a problem for me doing any Windows development on my Mac. I can't make it multi-platform, it's a pain. And this is something that would be distinctly Windows to work on, so... I think I've despawned them and changed their timing. I definitely despawned them and changed their timing. Yeah, I guess being careful here is probably smarter than just trying to charge it. Now it just looks like there's one, even though I know there's two. Yeah, orbits are fun. Anyway. Yep, I thought so. Highly recommend Saw concession stand. And then there's stuff like Daizo's Crack Cafe that got 100% ignored by everybody. Yeah, that's not good either. Didn't have a demo. Daizo said technically you could put the original release of Summoned as a demo for the full release, but that felt like cheating. Yeah, it kind of is, especially because like you're making a full release. It probably wouldn't hurt to like put a link to the level as it stood, but I could definitely see why Daizo would think that way. You know, we all know I'm not going to one-shot this. May as well get some more information. This Saw and me could be friends, I think. There we go. I do like the character swapping mechanic and kind of wish it had been used more. It's basically all I've used as Sicari this entire time. I don't know why I thought that was going to be a T-switch block. Yeah, I'll be curious to see what nerfs you guys have done to crack the hack, because I think even if I don't get it for moderation, I'll probably still play it. Because I did rather enjoy it when I played it for Hack Jam. Which, that's a level design that's a design contest I want to have more of. Like, 2-hour cohesive hacks are just really nice to play. Like, don't get me wrong, I love individual levels, but like, having a hack whose intended playtime is like 2 hours and is a cohesive idea is really nice. And basically all of the hacks were pretty high quality except the one that was broken. And I imagine even that one, if it hadn't been broken, would have been a lot more fun. I played it almost all the way to the end until I got to a boss room that took me to when I died, to a different boss room, and I'm like, no, I'm not walking all halfway through the map just to try this again. So... But I do understand they fixed their stuff afterwards. Okay, this is safe. That's not safe. 16.7 points, by the way, getting closer. Can you believe you, Daizo, and 3 others were intended to make a multi-path adventure game for Hack Jam? Yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot to do in a month. Like, I would say the most impressive hack, and for good reason, because it definitely got the accolades it deserved, was Mario for Lost Players. That hack was definitely not within the range it was supposed to be. Like, it was supposed to be a 2-hour thing, and there's no way basically anyone's first playthrough of that was only going to be 2 hours. But it was still really good. It had an insane amount of content for what it was, and for being an SMB1 style hack, it's a different style of gameplay. Very different. I also really enjoyed Sickos. I think Sickos was really well made. There's probably others I need to think of that were in this actually ended up in the standard category, because Crack ended up in a weird spot, being promoted to Kaizo. God damn it. Why would I ever want to hit that? Must be to normalize it in case... Oh my! Alright, well that worked. Just in case. That's weird. I guess I meant I had an option there. I could have stayed, or I could have switched. Oh, sup, Kessran, how you doing? What game is this? Yeah, it's an SMW hack. What are the yellow laser gates anyway? Alright, really quick explanation. I can only go through these when I'm Sicari. If I switch to K16, I cannot go through them. They are solid balls. But yeah, this is Sicari 2, On the Brink of Time. The sequel to Sicari... Not that. There's Sicari Remastered, and then there's, like, K16's Adventure. I think that there's only 2, well, 3 now, entries in this series, but don't quote me on that. It's made by Eevee, and it's really cool. Oh, hey, got to the end of the level. The first one's also like a total conversion like this. It's really good. Would recommend. And I played a decent chunk of the K16 one for Mystery Monday a million years ago, and that was fun too. Would just recommend. Play these. So, K16 Story of Steel, thank you. And thank you for the GG. Always do love seeing the Orb Cat. What the heck? Oh, hello. Several reptilian creatures stand motionless in these tubes. Yeah, I definitely can't see the reptilian creatures in those tubes. Also, why'd I choose left? I chose left because of sparkles. What's to the right? This looks more like a level. Love this song. You've seen more Kaizo hacks than standard styles, so the things people do in standard hacks are all kind of incredible. Oh, they are. There's some really good ones. This is the Void Station 2A and 4. It is here where my organic host hibernated and where I took control. Primary objective, to retrieve the remaining shards of Serpos and harness them to amend history. Adversaries are to enter the portal at the end of the chamber. It shall take you to the place where everything began. Bring me the shards of Serpos. Alright. I guess I'm going to go to the left first, because I don't want to bring the adversary here, all of the shards first. That seems ill-advised. Getting Zibis vibes? I believe it. Daizo composed it! Damn. Yeah, I looked at a little bit of Daizo's playthrough, because... Was it supposed to spawn me right there? I guess this is just for, like, effect, because I spawned over here near by the box. Well, I guess that makes sense. They always spawn by the box. Still weird. Huh. But yeah, when I was watching a little bit of it, I think he mentioned that he composed one of the tracks earlier too. Oh hey, that looks bad. This tube is broken, and blood is strewn across the floor. This is no doubt where TS-94 was born. I see a portal. And fire. Adversaries have arrived on the planet Rambir. 4,894 years in their past. This planet was the cradle of civilization. My masters burned it. As punishment, they were sealed away. Objective: use the shards of Serpos to unseal masters. The gods shall be usurped. Humanity must not escape the world. Alright, we've taken a turn for the edgy. What the hell was that? These like big birds? Also, Battle on the Big Bridge. We were talking about Hack Jam earlier, and there's some very interesting non-Kaizo stuff in there. Because that was a contest that SMW Central held last year. And like one of the really cool ones was Lost Players, of course, which was an SMD 1 style hack, where you actually were, never could go back, had more Mario 1 style physics. But another one that was really cool, kind of total conversion, was Mario versus the... Oh god, it's an auto-scroller. Mario versus the Mecha Koopa Army, which was more of a puzzle game where you could swap between Mario and Luigi sometimes. It was apparently heavily inspired by Donkey Kong Jr., I think it was. A Donkey Kong Versus. A Donkey Kong game that I think was for like Game Boy Advanced or Game Boy Color, I'm not exactly sure. But it was really cool. And of course, Mario could only ever like hop like this high. It was definitely a weird experience playing a Mario game where your primary like jump is so weak. As a fan of edgy shit, you like it. One of the harder levels in the hack, this level is hard. I'm kind of anticipating that, given the theme. Oh wait, this isn't Battle on the Big Bridge. What's wrong with me? What the hell is this? I know this. Isn't this from one of the Saga games? The reason I'm thinking it's from Battle on the Big Bridge is because of... Oh god. Because of a flash animation by RSF, who made the somewhat infamous, at least for a summer or two, Console Fantasy VI. Which was basically the final fights of Final Fantasy VI and the ending, except it's all played by consoles. So, like, Sabin is an N64. And Terra is a PlayStation. And Realm is a Game Boy Advanced. And there's probably more, but can't come up with them. And there's, like, some Japanese consoles, like the 3D FX or the PC something or other. Kefka, of course, is played by the PSP. But it was a humongous flash animation that got a lot of attention at the time, and someone actually bothered like translating the entirety of it in Flash as opposed to just taking a YouTube video, because YouTube wasn't quite as big back then. But RSF also made a series of 3 other Flashes. Michael Fantasy? Michael Forever? I forget. No, I'm not remembering right. Michael Fantasy's the second one. But basically, it's a bunch of sprite animations of Michael Jackson being a dick to all sorts of classic Famicom games, and then Michael Jackson saving all the classic Famicom games from Princess Peach, who was taking control of a Street Fighter character. It's the only kind of thing that only really makes sense in sprite animation form. Dang it. Sadly, it's kind of... I don't know if it's that easy to find on the internet anymore, because Flash animations... Because I think RSF's site's been down for, like, a while since Yahoo Japan finally turned off their GeoCities button. That wasn't hosted on GeoCities. What the hell was it hosted on? No, anyway. When it comes to, like, Japanese creators of weird stuff like that, I kind of wonder what they ended up doing. Because usually they prefer to remain anonymous, like completely anonymous. They don't want like anybody knowing this is what they do in their spare time, or just don't care to have it associated with their name or something. I don't know the full ethos surrounding it. But it seems fairly common. I gotta remember not to just jump through there. Maybe those were the flying squirrels I ran into earlier. Couldn't actually see them, but made it rather challenging to murder them with my knife. I'm dead. But yeah, fun times. He also did a Mario sprite parody of Not really a parody, more like an inspiration off of Nightmare City, using the 403 Forbidden track. Which I always forget which one was which, but it was either Southern Cross or Northern Lights, which were both like absolute banger tracks. Maybe that's something I should do sometime, like, if I need a bathroom break and we're doing PC games, I could bust out some of the old Flash animations, because it still has the Flash runtime. And given the Flash runtime didn't really evolve much post Windows... well, probably Windows XP. It's likely those... in fact, I know those would work under Windows 98, because I'm pretty sure I watched some of them under Windows 98. One of the advantages to having a Windows 98 computer that holds up your Super Nintendo. You know what might be more useful than stabbing? Guns. If I shoot the weird flying things out of the sky, then they can't hurt me. See how this works. Okay, that does hurt you. I don't know if I actually ended up touching fire earlier. But... fire indeed hot. Right, that's when I touched it when I fell in the fire pit. I've taken a lot more damage than I was expecting. She can't spin jump, so we have to do it this way. Not sure this is an improvement in the grand scheme of things. Suppose patience works better than guns, which is disappointing. Embers fly through the air. I have not actually spent time looking at it. Probably should. I would wager, if anything, it's a layer 3 effect. Nope. You can get a lot done with layer 3 if you can free up space in the first few pallets. Let me go back to Sicari. I'm gonna take a moment and appreciate it while I catch a sip of something. Oh yeah, that's subtle. Yeah, that's really well done. That's a layer 3 trick. I am suitably impressed. Eevee's occasionally been watching these, but usually much later. I understand that they believe they're on like more of a European time zone than American, so. LR camera pen? No. It's one of the... I wouldn't say it was one of the first things I checked, but there was definitely a moment or two where I'm like, huh, I wonder if I can scroll. And the answer is most distinctly no. In fact, something I would suggest to basically everybody making a hack, unless you have a good reason to, turn that shit off. There's basically no useful reason to have it unless you're like building puzzles around it. And it tends to make your levels break more often in both Kaizo and Standard. I 100% say just turn that shit off. I think it's like a relatively small patch to do that. Oh, what the? Oh, wow, I got the taco wedged. It's kind of cool. But yeah, in general, I find that pretty much it's an indication of quality that someone has turned that off. There's some exceptions, of course, like, you know, in the Jump Team games, I think they've left it mostly alone. But you can probably mostly turn it off and then turn it back on with Uber ASM if you need it in a given level. Plus, it frees up 2 buttons to, you know, do other things if you want to do another gimmick. Though, admittedly, chat hacks has kind of trained me to never touch those buttons, ever. Which, not necessarily the best lesson I've learned there. Because usually only bad things, or Morton's Castle, happen if I press the L or R buttons. I don't know why I keep thinking I can trick him out. I wonder if I should include that as a tag now that I think about it. Kind of thinking, is this like one of the earlier streams I've had recently for a night stream? Like I actually got started on pretty much time. God, I need to not fake it out, just jump through it. Oh no, wait, run to the end of the platform and then jump. The problem is I'm trying to do the Kaizo thing and I don't need to do the Kaizo thing there. There's an easy solution. Knife gliding. It's the way to go. Still don't know actually where this is, or what this track is. Level hard indeed. Got a miracle to tell me? Oh, lay it on me. Hoping it's good news. I'm hoping you didn't get a ticket to the Grateful Dead, which is also a definition of miracle. I mean, I guess if you're into that, getting a ticket to the Grateful Dead would be cool, but I'm pretty sure they stopped, like, actually touring, which would make it a doubly so miracle. Mostly because, like, Jerry Garcia is quite dead. Worked on null space a bit? Nice. Oh, I bet the next thing is like, and the you got the expanded text box stuff to work. Nope. At least I was prepared that time. Okay. It's probably the best statted I've gotten here. No! Wait. Oh, I panicked. I forgot you can get out of spin jumps into wall jumps in this one. The usual ASM for that I don't think is all that friendly to spinning to wall jumping, but yeah, it was still a PB right there. Kinda hoping there'll be a midway after that. Actually start on the intro sequences level section? Nice. It's gonna be a different level than the prior one that I've played a few times. Those itches. Why wasn't my nose itch? Oh, and worked on Nulshi's player sprite. Awesome. Very excellent. God, that means I probably should actually finish up my 32 by 32 player sprite converter. Or at least make sure I don't lose it when my computer inevitably resets, because it's currently sitting in temp, and that's always a bad idea. Though it needed to be rewritten anyway, because it didn't take rotations into effect very well, so it was missing a lot of sprites. I should spin jump there. Much different. Ooh, fun. Something to look forward to. Oh. Okay. This time, we'll probably die by getting squished by the wall, still. Alright, good. Good steady. Yep, just run to the end of platforms. Surprisingly easy. Alright. Perfect. Well, I got hit once, but still, way better than usual. I'm just going to try and stay in spin jump mode, because I think that spin jump mode is the mode for this. Except for this bit right here where I need to be going up fast. Alright, maybe spin jump mode isn't the mode for this. Oh, I guess you can't actually. I must have touched the platform. Okay. It's more like an interactable cutscene now? Okay, that's interesting. I'll be curious to see how that plays. Because the previous one, you were just kind of walking to the right until something happened. I mean, it was basically a level, which isn't a bad thing. I do, in fact, appreciate it when levels just get started. And don't make me sit on the title screen, or the "looks like Bowser's at it again" screen. You mean... I mean, I also do like plot too. I just don't like sitting at that screen waiting like 15 seconds. Technically what it is now, but it's much more story relevant and lore. Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Is fiery. I wasn't good at the prior auto-scroller either. Which also was fiery. You can't spin knife. Can you tell me? Can you tell me where else you want to make you sit? Oh boy. Hi Desi, how you doing? I'm certain I will be informed shortly. How was it? Was Fester's Quest you were playing last night, Go? I believe that was it. It continued to be very mazy. I do like a good rendered maze. As long as I can make heads or tails out of it. I can't believe I actually did that. I think pretty much I just have to take a hit there. She doesn't get stab power fast enough. Careful. Boink. The first... Oh god, I can't stop to read now. I have to stab things. Okay. Switch. Regular jumps, so I don't get stuck there. No! Ah, whiffed my jump. So how goes it, Desi? Oh, man. Gonna head to bed, but you leave me on mute, Lurk? Oh, thanks. Have a good night and good night. Yeah, you too. Sleep well. I'm gonna guess, at least as of right now, there's probably at least one more of these streams for Sicari. As much as I may want to, I think this is going to need to be a short-ish stream. One of the reasons I got started early was because I need to go to bed a little bit earlier today for reasons. When searching, the song is Beat 'em Up from Romancing Saga. I was right about... Did I say Saga? Crap, I don't even remember now. I want to say I did. But I figured it was a battle song from an RPG. It's got that feel to it. Got my long worked there. Long ass auto scroller section. Okay. I guess also I'm not afraid of dying actually no, I am kind of afraid of dying by taking hits because it's up to deal with the dang flying squirrels or whatever the hell these things are. Now I'm just kind of wondering what this game would be like if there was somehow like an XP or like weapon upgrade sort of RPG-ish system. Not that I think it's a good idea, but it might be cute. Wasn't far enough ahead of that firewall. That's a big fucking wall. I am rather hoping there is a midway after that. As is how you do it. Okay. More careful stabbing this time. Professor's quest was incredible. You clutched out the ending boss and totally cheesed the ending area. You found an enemy that multiplies when you damage it, and it follows you around slowly, so you escorted the enemy around doing the entire final labyrinth, which was rife with extremely aggressive enemies. By doing that, you despawned every last enemy. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I bet Fist loved that. That's really smart. That is clever. I fully support anything that makes an NES game like that easier. In fact, I did lurk for a bit yesterday after I raided. I basically went to bed pretty quick. So I never actually saw any combat. I mostly just saw you wandering around the labyrinth, mapping it, of course. But I'm actually curious what the gameplay looks like. And it's so strange to me that I don't know why I assume Fester's Quest is a Addams Family game. That doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense. It might be. Nope, with the jump. Fisky wanted to see you blood. He insisted you were cheating. Nope, it's not. Nope, clever use of despawns is most 100% not cheating. It's not debug mode. It's not plugging into Game Genie. It's not cheating. In fact, the one time I did use a Game Genie on stream, it was a terrible idea. I ended up getting myself stuck in an area I couldn't get out of. That's a game I need to return to after I get the request queue much, much shorter. Extra Mario Bros. Really cool. Also need graph paper for it. But now I have a, phrase for the throw a fireball up in the air power, which occasionally comes up in Super Mario World hacks, called Technical Fire, which I'm absolutely certain is not what the mainline games call it, but that's what Extra Mario Bros. Does. Anytime I have to, basically I'm trading damage for space, and that's just a bad idea. Nope. Oh, it is that? Or you meant it's an Addams Family game? Oh, that's right. The other Addams Family games give you weapons and upgrades. Huh. How about the absolutely killer Addams Family values? I'm not aware that there's so many games that have surprisingly good soundtracks. Technical Fire because it's technically fire. I mean, it's still fire regardless, technical or not. Music is good. Have you played the game? I have not. I have not played it either. One of the games that has a surprisingly, ridiculously good soundtrack. It's also really good, legitimately fun. For the NES is Pictionary. You would never think that it's actually good because it's Pictionary. You've played Pictionary before. Pictionary is Pictionary. But it's legitimately good, both the game and the soundtrack. Mostly because I was about to say soundtrack guy. Composer for that was one of the Folan brothers. There's two, Tim and something else. I forget the other one. But they did a bunch of soundtracks that were really heavy on bangers for games that were not very good. So, for instance, Silver Surfer has a banging soundtrack, even though the game itself is really hard and unpleasant to play, and I did the same thing I did last time I was here. Heard a song from the OST before. It was in the first level of Summoned. Oh, okay. And the opposite end of the spectrum, Mario is missing. Does Mario's Missing have good music? I don't think it don't remember it having good music. Or maybe the Mario's Time Machine. I watched like JSR play a chunk of that at some point and helped him out by identifying a type of column. This was like Doric, Ionic, and some I forget what the third type of Roman column is. Things I used to know. But I think one of the options was it was Corinthian? Corinthian the third one? No, I don't know. Either way, it's a thing I knew at one point, and I could at least identify the ones that were not, in fact, types of Roman column. Or the classic multiple choice strategy of, I know what it isn't. I'll pick from one of the ones that it must be. And gotta jump across the flaming tacos. And fall off. There we go. As far as gameplay, it's bad, but it has absolutely no reason to be bad. It should have been a killer game. I mean, I think the problem with like those educational Mario titles is the people making them didn't have a good idea how they wanted to really integrate all that stuff and still make it a fun game. Edutainment just kind of had that problem outside of like Oregon Trail. And debatably, like games that might be considered educational but are largely just fun games, like The Incredible Machine. Or basically anything Zachtronics ever made. It's like 1 pixel off for that guy. Didn't step good enough. This is not good. Carmen Sandiego did it well. That is fair. Carmen Sandiego was really good. In fact, it was so good that they were considering doing more weird spin-offs, including a game that recently surfaced. Where in North Dakota is Carmen Sandiego? Oh, where in South Dakota is Carmen Sandiego? One of the Dakotas. That particular thing did not, in fact, take off. But they made one, so... going to read that aloud. I definitely know that. SMW is fun, but like the audience for Standard is not nearly as big as the audience for Kaizo, and Kaizo is painful. I haven't done that in a while. Like even I find Kaizo to be kind of painful on my hands after a few hours, as much as I do like playing it. One of the reasons it doesn't happen nearly as often as it used to. Plus, just the moderation queue is a never unending assailment of ridiculousness that is never ending. There's 25 damn things in that queue right now. Several of which probably wouldn't take that long to do the actual playthrough for moderation. But then I'd need to sit down and write the rejections. And writing rejections just isn't fun. Like, it's gotta be done, but it's definitely not the fun part of this job. I've streamlined it somewhat, using technology and whatnot, but there's only so much I can do in regards to that. I needed a spin jump, I didn't get it out. In contrast to the previous titles, which were developed internally by Broderbund, North Dakota was largely developed for the Apple II by a team of 14 educators led by computer coordinator Craig Nansen, concept designer Bonnie Berryman, that's a good name, I like that, and co-chairwoman Mary Littler, collectively known as the North Dakota Database Committee of Minot Public Schools, who made the game a reality. Most of these Kaizo hacks are relatively the same anymore, not enough innovation or cool stuff. I could see that. I mean, part of the problem is there's just so many of them, too. Like, the number of Kaizo hacks coming out has increased, I want to say, like, damn near exponentially over the last, like, 4 years. But yes, the North Dakota Carmen Sandiego thing is weird. In fact, like, most of the villains are teachers or were people on the committee. They made, like, character sketches and everything. Honestly, it just sounded like it was probably a fun project to work on by all accounts. Something I would not mind having on my resume. Because the Carmen Sandiego games are just cool. Even if North Dakota is a lame place that I don't want to go back to because they gave me a speeding ticket. To be fair, I did drive through most of it. No, I drove through all of it in one day. It was very boring. Just like grain fields. There was part that I thought was interesting, but it turned out to be Montana. You know how that is. I think that Sayonara 2 that just came out is extremely innovative and creative with every single obstacle. It might be the exception that proves the rule, though. Awful lot of them have felt bland lately. Fair. A lot of different ways to make a standard hack, but with Kaizo it feels a lot more limiting. New experience with Cracks Cafe. Don't even understand what's Kaizo anymore. What is Kaizo? Who is Kaizo? Why is Kaizo? When is Kaizo? There's definitely been some more blending. You end up with things like Marissa World, which are not necessarily Kaizo at all times, but are still very difficult. But with that level of intent still. Oh, that was a dumb way to take a second hit. I feel like I'm doing that cave in Zelda 2 all over again. The cave that leads to the river, or to the swamp. The wall jumps away from the fire are awkward to me. Kaizo is remodeling. When's Marvel? Sorry, when's Marvel? Called Jump Cave. No, seriously, what defines Kaizo? Damned if I know, to some extent. I believe the intent was sort of like the big reasonable thing, but you could definitely see people's documents expressing what they believe to be the philosophy of Kaizo. Though I believe that in the most technical sense, Max has got it right. It just means to rearrange. Or rearrangement. I am not good with Japanese verbs. Or adjectives. Or just most words, I'll be honest. Oh, not dead. There we go. Oh, because you used the jump spell to get out of the cave. Ah, right, okay. That makes sense. Very sensible name. Ah, dang it. Similar to Japanese for word for modification, but Kaizo has just become associated with very hard hacks. Yeah. What described you before? A level with only one intended route, not multiple open-ended, that standard ones usually take on, if that makes sense. But to you, by that logic, half of this hack is Kaizo, so like, what the hell? I think that's fair. I think one big thing about it is leniency, right? While you can make an argument that there's only one way through it, I also have the option to take damage at almost any point in time. And this game gives you 5 hits. Pretty much any Kaizo will only give you a mushroom for the sole purpose of making you use that mushroom to take damage at some point. As a sort of bizarre example, which probably doesn't help much in case you've played it, but I would say Glitch Cat's Return to Subcon, despite the fact that it does embody that philosophy to a large extent, is not in fact Kaizo because of the fact that in almost every level, screw 4-3, or 3-4, no 4-3, he gives you a mushroom that you can use, or a bonus hit you can use at your discretion. And that makes a huge difference in terms of like what options you have and how you want to approach obstacles. Oh, I'm so toast. I'm less toast than I expected. Oh, that was the end. I just had to go a direction. You know, I'm not sure if I needed to go up or down there. Brutal Mario vibes. I mean, everybody was inspired by Brutal Mario to some extent. Carol's work is... you know, I've never actually played it, but I've seen enough to know that it was really good. And will forever leave its mark, if nothing else, with the vast overworld patch that Carol made. And we'll never know much about Carol, because Carol doesn't want us knowing about Carol. Very private person. Could be anybody, really. That worked? Okay, I think that says 50. It is vexing that you only ever have odd numbers up there, because I have the hardest time telling a large number of the odd numbers apart with this font. Okay, that was dumb. Nope. Give you 3 answers versus BK's answer. The second answer is your answer. Non-Kaizo is about agency, while Kaizo hacks take agency away from the player. Third answer is Orca Bins. It's Orca Bins. Kaizo is like porn, you know it when you see it. Oh, that's classic. I'm trying to remember, was it Sooner who said that? It's the Supreme Court quite literally saying, I cannot define obscenity, but I know it when I see it. It does remind me of the classic Tom Lehrer song, Smut, which is about exactly what you think it is. Ah, dang it. Interesting fellow. Math teacher, math professor, in fact, who decided he didn't really care for teaching math. And so he became an entertainer and did politically interesting songs set to piano. And did very well for himself. I think he eventually went back to teaching math for some reason. Admittedly, from the song New Math, he probably might have been quite good at it, for all I can tell. Since that one is basically a math lesson in song form, explaining how borrowing and carrying work. Oh, come on. Beautiful. BK is the reason Craft Cafe became Kaizo. Really? Huh. I'd have to go look at the judging thing. I want to say the judges agreed. I don't think BK was one of the judges. But, like, basically, a non-trivial number of the judges played it and was like, we think this is Kaizo. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I still played it because it was in the standard pile and I wanted to play it. But... oh, man. Yeah, he had a bunch of weird ones. He had a song about nuclear proliferation. A song about National Brotherhood Week, which is mostly about the assorted people who could not stand each other. Smut, of course. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known who Lady Chatterley's lover was. What was any of the other? What was another good one? He had a song about pollution that was kind of fun, too. A very strange entertainer. And of course his classics, the classic one you've probably actually heard, the Elements song, where he just took the elements of the periodic table and attached them to a possibly recognizable tune. There's atom, iodine, nickel, aluminum, selenium, and hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, uranium, and then I forget how the rest of it goes, and I don't really want to try. He also did some work for, he made some songs for the Electric Company, an educational TV show. educational kids show about 2 songs. One was about LY, the affix, and Silent E. So. He modded it originally and he made it Kaizo, which sparked the discussion. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd have to go look at the thread. BK's reason generally accepted by standard community is what it is. Don't know. It's just kind of sad because he didn't think it was Kaizo. Like 1 or 2 Kaizo judges who didn't think it was Kaizo. It's like, bruh. Remember when SMW Remix was changed very hard? No. Like the ancient Greek version. There's earth and air and water and fire. It's a much shorter song, admittedly, but not as useful. I want to say he also made that joke. At least he did it in one of the live versions. But yeah, the line is not quite as clearly demarcated as you'd hope all the time. And it definitely depends upon the person. Which is why, you know, Orca's definition works fairly well. To be fair, I don't think I've ever played a standard hack that I've said, nah, this is actually Kaizo, when moderating. So people usually at least have a good idea, but very hard hacks that aren't silly don't come out that often. Like fairly often when people are putting out like a very hard hack, it's often difficult for reasons of lack of careful design rather than intent. No, I landed on it. If you beat the level today, save the next level for next time. I believe that would be my plan. I believe that'd be my plan. Given how long this level's taking, I assume what's next is going to be trickier. Gotta dip as you're tired. Wish me luck. Thank you. Thanks, Faro. Sleep well. Sleep well. Keep stabbing. Why do I think I can get away with that? Never can. 17k points. Yup. And with that thought, I need to like sit down and make a list of the things and figure out how I'm going to handle some of the requests. I worked it out with my brother yesterday. Since he lives in San Francisco, it's pretty cheap for me to go down on work trips because he doesn't mind if I sleep in his basement. Which is a rather nice basement, I will admit, aside from all of the times I've bumped my head on the damn ceiling. Not the ceiling, the deck. Damn near scalped myself once. Unpleasant. But otherwise, a very nice little, like, mother-in-law apartment. I guess it's not really a mother-in-law apartment because it doesn't come with any like cooking amenities. It's got its own bathroom, so at least I don't gotta go all the way around for that. But yeah, gonna go on a short work trip about 2 weeks from now. And I will be around Thursday, probably. So we'll still do something, but it'll probably have to be on a computer because I'm not lugging any of my like stream tech, aside from maybe the microphone with me. I'm dead. So, easy solution, that just gets shorter. So, I'll solve this problem in time. How you doing, Kalrasi? I was actually thinking about that. We'll see how I'm feeling tomorrow. I might send you a message about doing some monkey stuff on Saturday. We will see. I'm actually going to the doctor tomorrow to get my cough checked, so we'll see how that affects things. It's one of those, I've had this for long enough, I probably should get it checked, because otherwise a small ailment can become a large ailment. Or don't be like my sister who got scarlet fever in this modern era where no one gets scarlet fever anymore. Because she got strep throat and just didn't go to the doctor. Amoxicillin. It keeps your strep throat from turning into scarlet fever, which is way worse. Okay. Ah, dang bird. That was a strange sentence for anyone who didn't have context. Depending on how I'm feeling tomorrow, I'll send you a message about doing some monkey stuff on Saturday. Yep. I will fully admit it is a strange sentence. Would help if I remembered the subtitle to The Secret of Monkey Island 2. Monkey. DK. Donkey Kong. Everything I've seen of the 3D animated version of Donkey Kong, the TV show, looks so weird. I didn't even know that it existed. It's the kind of thing I would have expected to have at least heard of as a kid, but no, it was just kind of there, but nowhere near me. The Chuck's Revenge, thank you. Doing monkey stuff on weekend. NFT Saturday, no. I once thought about doing an NFT joke thing, but the problem is, if you ever do that, you're still tarred and feathered as an NFT person. Like, I was gonna make an NFT of a potato and, like, draw a face on it, but then I was gonna eat the potato. I don't really think that there was much of a point to it. So. Probably gonna make it into hash browns. Like, scrub the face off, not like permanent marker or anything. Or peel it, just peel it. That's the smarter move if you don't want to eat the marker. So. I find the smart contract stuff to be somewhat interesting, but it is a very, very silly field. Not to mention, they chose JavaScript as their, like, baseline implementation. Who the hell does that? JavaScript is terrible. Like, Rust would have made more sense, because Rust is at least mildly, like, safe. Still Agile-like. Don't think you'd have to, like, get a license to modify the language. Has way better static type checking, that kind of thing. Yep, if I did it, it would attract real crypto bros, and that's the danger of doing a parody. Forget whose law that is, like, Poe's law, I want to say? Is the closer you get to a good parody, the more people can't distinguish it from real life. So, there's probably markers with edible ink, I just don't have them on me, and I'm not going to take a trip to the craft store for a dumb potato-based joke. Like, the easy solution what I'd probably do is use dry erase, and then just either scrub it off, probably some combination of scrubbing off and peeling the potato first. Probably get a Yukon Gold. I like Yukon Golds. They're one of my favorite types of potatoes, the little yellow ones. They are very tasty potatoes. Though I will admit they don't fry well. Not every potato can do everything, of course. A sufficiently advanced parody is indistinguishable from sincerity. Yeah, that's close enough. Definitely close enough. There we go. Actually, probably should pay attention to lives at some point. Actually, I don't need to, because if I game over, all I do is start over at the beginning of the level, which I'm fine with right now, because this is the beginning of the level. Dang it. Yeah, beyond this, I still have whatever level's next, and I get the feeling the next level will have some climactic implications. And I haven't done any of the secret bonus levels. I've somehow gotten worse at this. Is spawn entirely screen dependent, or does character position? I believe it's entirely screen dependent. I do not believe the character's position in the world matters. I believe it's just the scroll on whatever layer it's on. On the flaming taco. Taco. Alright, definitely up. It's not done. Okay. Oh, hello. I'm fighting a dragon. Nivzurek. I didn't even have a chance to get a midway. Do I have to do this every time to fight this dang thing? Did that actually get me? Ah, that hitbox. I'm gonna have to do that every time I want to fight the boss. Well, there better be a midway after that. Yeah. I'm gonna track down those SWFs for that. That could be fun. Though, admittedly, my last attempt to have some sort of intermission during the Monkey Island thing did not go so well. It turns out that the day and night cycle day planner thing did not play well with Monkey Island for some reason. Not sure why, honestly. It's not that complicated of an application, but it might be the fact that I was changing. I think I'm already too far behind for this. Nope. Poe's Law is an adage of internet culture stating that without a clear indicator of the author's intent, every parody of extreme views can be mistaken by some readers as for a sincere expression of the views being parodied. Yes, that. That's why you can never do a parody of crypto things, because it looks the same as a crypto thing, pretty much always. Especially if you actually put your crypto parody on the blockchain and it isn't just like a website to try and fool people with no real repercussions, like Bonsai Kitten. We have an old internet thing there. I think that actual site might still be up, actually. I mean, it's basically a static website with no real moving parts, since you can't, in fact, buy your Bonsai Kitten kit. Because that would be horrible. It would be really horrible. Some sincere expressions can be mistaken for parody, too. That is true. That is a problem. No! Oh, I thought I'd land on it. Bonsai Kitten. I remember where I in fact first saw that. It might have been like on the Cruel site of the day. One of the many aggregators of weird websites. I think he eventually got, like, disturbed by his own, like, callousness and decided to become, like, a sports commentator instead. Or maybe a political commentator, I forget. It was a strange transition for someone whose major web experience was running effectively a blog, which is, look at this weird website. Oh, if I'd made that jump, that would have been so good. There's one article that was on there that I really wish I could find because the title was so good. Something along the lines of "Campers Will Bite My Face," which was a short memoir, little article written by this dude who was excited to help out at a summer camp, but it turned out to be a summer camp for children with behavioral issues. And so one of the first things he was taught was how to hold a child such that it won't bite your face. Or, well, I guess they won't bite your face. Just something to avoid. Nobody wants a bitten face. Then again, I'm not really sure that websites, like, articles were actually sincere. Shoot. Okay. Okay, knowing that there's a boss ahead, just knowing that fact, I need to really conserve my hits. Because that certainly doesn't help me. Much as I do love Romancing Saga music, a game series I have never played. That was way too short of a hop. Way too short. I am beginning to wonder if I happen to have missed the midway. You know, the one time I got there. Ah, dang it. It does remind me, the weirdest combination restaurant I have ever been to. You know, most people talk about the combination pizza and Taco Bell. I think that's a pretty reasonable combination. Then you got your Taco Bell KFC, so it's also a pretty reasonable combination. And you want fried chicken in the Baja Blast, it's convenient. But the weirdest one I've ever seen is an A&W combined with a Taco Time. Or, it's Taco Time. Which is like a Northwest Taco Bell style cheap Mexican food place. Vaguely Mexican food place. I have no idea how such a franchise could exist, but it does. There's one out in, I want to say, was it Idaho? Yeah, it was in Idaho, I think. Well, I don't see any obvious midways I've missed. Be fun with Celeste movement? I bet it would. Alright, good. One hit without getting hit first. They've got 2 hits to spare. And thankfully she only has 3 hits. That's a lot of critters. Well, the good news is she only takes 3 hits. Allegedly. Oh, come on! Yeah, it was a bit of a dick move. Really want the midway. Hello, Midway. I really wanted you. Alright, into the pit with me. Not that any of the midways have been broken, but gotta keep testing them. I'm very happy to have gotten that midway. I assume I'll have to fight the Dragon Lady again in bigger form. I also have to assume there's going to be another fiery auto-scroller after this section. I'm going to observe for a second. He's on fire! There was a better way of doing that, I'm certain. Thank you for the H. Oh god. I'm glad glad I read that, right? Oh look, the auto-scroller! Why couldn't have been an auto-crawler instead? Okay. Things are not going well. Yeah, I don't know if H is actually saving this game, so I've got to definitely get it done this time. It's a nice feature when it shows up in hacks. But certainly not one that's required. It didn't spawn. It's weird. I've had that problem with a few platforms in this game. Thankfully, none of them have been in critical positions, but... At least one of them I ended up doing something stupid because I expected it to be there and it wasn't. I thought I'd be able to spin jump my way to victory. At least I avoided the damage there. That's true. Someone could reset the game for test purposes. That is true. I haven't... No! No, I need one of the birds! No! God, that was annoying. Once again, I really wish Twitch would let me know what my point economy looked like, rather than just, like, the one piece of information I've ever gotten about it was that, like, I think Kappa spent the most last year. Which, well, a fascinating factoid, doesn't actually tell me about how many points are out there. And, of course, I could actually calculate who spent the most points, because I have that information, mostly. I mean, I guess it would be a little bit weird because I've done refunds on some large ticket things. But... like refunding when Max wanted to test out the VIP thing. But for the most part, I'd have a pretty good idea. Okay. Nintendo has 22.2 lambdas. This is Twitch informing you about the point economy. Fair enough. Given you've burned off a not insubstantial amount of lambdas recently. Crap. No! Like, that setup is fine, I just keep fucking it up. Part of the thing, of course, is that Twitch at some point changed the way the point economy worked, which made things even weirder by greatly deflating. Which is strange to me. I don't know why their economists probably told them to deflate points earned rather than just like inflate them if they wanted to change their numbers. Inflation seems like a way better way of handling this, but Twitch is programmed by iguanas. And there are the ads. What's up, Silver Fox Flame? How you doing? Silver Fox Flame. I want to put an L in the second word, but there is not one, despite the fact that the first one had an L. Too many L's. Okay. This part. Seriously? Well, that could have gone worse. You have 15.3? Damn. That's a lot. You had to redeem the VIP reward twice. Only the first one was canceled. Oh, did you? I'm trying to remember why I didn't cancel the second one. I think I still can because I like never actually used the Twitch system for managing those things. Much to Squiggles' chagrin. Whenever I say I'm going to refund something and he's around, he actually wants to do it, and I'm like, no, don't, I'll take care of it later. Like, I have some, like, hundreds, thousands? Maybe thousands of requests in the queue, request queue thing for Twitch, so way too many to actually look at. If there was a way for me to like tell Twitch that I've already handled it immediately upon getting the request sent, I might bother actually using their queue, but I'm not gonna. There also might actually be a way, and I just haven't looked in the API long enough. Did finally fix a thing today. When people buy ads, previously I wasn't deleting the rewards, and now I changed that, and now I can actually read the rewards page again. Because previously I couldn't. There was way too much random crap in it. Okay, I think I understand what's going on there. Why I'm having so much trouble with it. There's a little bit of lag. I'm gonna put it right there. There's a little bit of lag when the birds spawn, and it does make a little bit of a difference when you're trying to do a careful jump. Useful metrics would be average points per active viewer. That probably would be. Because that would at least like get you a vague idea, or even just the total of points out there. I don't know. I find it very strange that Twitch doesn't let you see that, but I guess doesn't let you see the individual point values. But I guess that they're basically proxies for how often people watch, and I could see why they want to keep that somewhat private. Dang it, that's the first time I've gotten hit by that in a while. Total points others into a less useful metric because a lot of them may belong to people who will never return. That's true. That is true. Yeah. It's the lag right there that's getting me. And now that I've killed that bird, I'm kind of screwed. Yep, I killed one too many. Actually, no, I didn't kill one too many birds. I still have enough to get through this, but not probably enough to get through the gauntlet. Upwards here. Hey. Probably shouldn't spend time killing those things. I mean, obviously anyone who watches you... Of course, everyone who watches me comes back. If for no other reason than to unfollow. It'll eventually happen. One rough metric is to earn about 2k per stream, then multiply that by followage. Doesn't take into account redeems, of course. It's an interesting heuristic. I mean, I guess if I was going to do that, I'd probably not by followerage, but by like average viewerage. Because that seems more likely to get me. Platform didn't spawn. A reasonable guess. That reminds me, I figured out what's wrong with the SadBot and why it crashes so frequently, and I need to just sit down and fix it. And by frequently, it's why I can't keep it running all the time. Eventually, because of the number of like outstanding requests, I was continuously setting them to disabled as opposed to paying attention to their current state, which wasn't smart. Nope. The link said not found. Oh. I suppose it does. Yeah, if you want me to change the URL, I can do that from my side fairly difficultly. So, in standard parlance, websites that let you do the sort of thing we're doing with the ad stuff are called CRUD apps, which stands for Create, Read, Update, Delete. Because I'm lazy, it's only really a CR app. It lets you create, it lets you read, it does not let you update or delete. Because doing those things was more work. It lets me do some of those, but usually what I'd need to do for that to work is basically I'll just go to the database and modify it by hand. So, and keep the same URL. Okay, cool. It was one of those like, oh right, I never got around to implementing the like consumer-friendly parts of the. I got hit there. Ad portal. You know, the kinds of things you usually would write if you were doing this seriously. To do this. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. So. But I wasn't really planning on it, because, like, I actually look at the URLs people send first to make sure that, like, we're not doing anything that's going to get me in trouble. To be fair, people could change the URL. URLs could change out from underneath me, etc. But just, like, as a general, I want to make sure I'm not going to get in trouble for something someone does. So I give everything a little quick smoke check. Look at the URL, look at the description, and look, of course, at the image. And one of the reasons why it does GIFs but not animated GIFs is I didn't want to deal with, like, the case of, alright, it's an animated GIF, but if you wait 5 minutes, it changes to something unpleasant. Because I'm vaguely paranoid about such things. Or with friends like mine, you would be too. So, it's a simple API command to change a reward to cancel to redeemed. Oh man, I should just use that. How would I handle that presently? Because right now I just return strings for each and every, most redemption stuff. Because they're effectively commands. I guess I could change it to... Part of the problem is, like, it's optimistic about whether or not a given thing works, so I guess I don't want to implement, like, a global solution to this. It's probably good to keep it to that. Or maybe what I'll do is... Well, I'll probably just use more decorators. That's my solution to everything, and I've been writing for this bot. Just use more decorators. Decorate it as a reward that can be fulfilled if, like, on success, there's a regex that just says, yes, this is a response... Oh, God, I'm just not getting there fast enough. That says the request was fulfilled. That's probably the smart way about going it. And no, I don't want to lose my midway. In fact, now I know it doesn't save midways, because when you game over, you lose your midway. I'm also not interested in going back and farming lives. I know where to farm a life if I need a life. Don't want to. Oop. Hacks indeed. For moderation purposes, I'm generally pretty okay with just using that to grant me lives, because I just don't want to spend time farming lives. Like, it's clever when you can find good places for it, but altogether it's just a time sink I'd rather not waste my time with, unfortunately. I cannot believe I died there. That was stupid. Yeah, I think a decorator with a regex would solve that problem. So maybe Oddstat will do it. I've been meaning to add a decorator to my commands to basically, or to my rewards to also know when they could be fulfilled. Because previously I was commenting and uncommenting some of the code, which is never a good way to go about that. And the add stuff has sort of a prototype version where it looks at my current scene and asks itself, can we do ads? And if the answer is yes, then the ad reward shows up. If the answer is no, then we can't. I don't like this setup. Really don't like that setup. I'll have to take a look later. Which does remind me, I came up with a thing I wanted to test to try and fix the Zelda USB problems. What I think I'm going to do is use Frizz's USB code and see if something significant changes. as a quick test, because it's not going to take me that long to modify to do some of the things I'm doing already. Yeah, a little bit of lag makes that part a little unpleasant. I'm able to send you the image files for the ads you uploaded at some point. So you can easily keep the URLs the same. What exactly do you want? Do you want the uploaded ads URLs? Because if you go to this, you should be able to see all of your ads and copy the URLs out of there. And I don't mind if you do like hot linking or anything. This isn't 1995. Oh, for fuck's sake, I forgot you just got to jump there. That should show the ads for whoever, for yourself. For me, it shows all of them. But that's because I'm the admin and I get to see everything. But if I've misunderstood your request, let me know and I'll see about fixing it with more cleverness. Which might require not playing a video game while I'm trying to be clever. There are some video games you can be very clever with while playing them. This is not one of them for me. Put that back up front so I can actually see. I'm dead already. I was really hoping to save some time with just one big jump, and that did not work. Oh, I should see if anyone's actually taken the internet survey. Haven't checked that in a long-ass time. It's one of the test ads Squiggles uploaded, and it initially had like a 4 kilobyte URL attached to it, which is in fact the maximum URL size for most things. There's also no good reason to have a URL that's like 4K in size. In fact, the limit used to be lower because IE6, I think, couldn't tolerate URLs longer than like 1048 or something weird. It wasn't a normal round number. Oh, something you could take care of after the stream if you want. The actual PNGs you uploaded when you bought the ads. Is that something you have access to? Yes. I don't modify the PNGs, and so the URLs in the list should be fine. But I can send you them if you need them. That will not be difficult. I only modify GIFs. I take the very first frame of a GIF. It was a bit nerve-wracking to do image stuff, because image libraries tend to be security hole. Like, Image Magic is a wonderful application, but you should never ever expose it to the outside world. Huge fan of it, honestly. Like, I once abused it to make a webcam that displayed, quote-unquote webcam, this was back in the day, what song I was listening to in Winamp. But it is full of security holes. It was never designed to be used by malicious actors on other people's computers. And Pillow has some similar problems from time to time, just because image formats are complicated. I'm sticking with the pretty well-trod path of like PNGs, GIFs, and JPEGs. I'm not like letting people upload like weird TIFF files. Because TIFF files are weird, in part because they were designed for like uploading faxes, and some very clever people thought that compression of certain types should be embedded in these. Long story short, there was a really cool exploit chain that basically took a TIFF, turned it into a computer. Like they wrote a VM inside of the TIFF using logical operations from the compressor to simulate gates and all of the nonsense you'd need to basically run a computer inside of this TIFF when it was being decompressed. It's very strange. Really cool piece of malware. Of course, it's still a piece of malware. A bit like how Stuxnet was so cool. very well-made piece of software for what it did. It just, you know, it did something most people didn't. Well, an awful lot of people didn't want it to do. And of course, it was still a piece of malware. Like, you don't want it stuck on your computer, even if you like the ultimate goals of that particular piece of malware. What's it do with animated PNGs? Does it have the ability to animate them? I don't think anyone uses animated PNGs. I imagine I'd reject it because the file type's wrong. Wrong for me, at least. Perfect. Be a super easy way to re-upload with the same URL then. See why the URL changed. You had a website through FileZilla and then through GitHub. Now we've removed the ability to upload stuff through FileZilla. Tillery takes care of that stuff. Now it's only GitHub, so you push them to the Gits file. Ah, gotcha. Yeah. I think we use Tillery at work for some stuff. But like GitHub Pages is really convenient and works pretty well, honestly. I've got at least... I had a website. There was a website I hosted on GitHub for someone else as a favor, but I don't think I have to worry about that one anymore. I have another website that's hosted on GitHub that basically displays like a picture. And it's very convenient that I don't need to worry about like bandwidth or anything because GitHub just doesn't care. So... GitHub Pages. It's a good way to have a simple website. Assuming you have someone who knows how to set up the DNS stuff. The DNS stuff can be a little tricky. Especially because every DNS provider exposes all of the information slightly differently. Which is always fun. But GitHub has like a nice GUI for that, for file management now, so... I shouldn't have trusted it. But yeah, GitHub. Pretty good stuff. Pretty much every ICFP contest hosts their page on GitHub nowadays, just because it's so convenient. And honestly, because people generally want to know when the website updates, and it's really easy to like set up webhooks and whatnot for GitHub. Like Discord has like native support for it. You basically just have to do a little bit of work to set up a webhook to see whenever a repo changes. Which reminds me, I probably should do that at some point in the near future. Off the wall. Oh, bird! Well, that kind of worked. I do not like this bird. That was weird. What killed me, necessarily? I guess probably the thwomp. But I also got the... Oh, wait, well, if I even... I probably hit it and then got hit, because you don't immediately die in this game, so probably is irrelevant, now that I think about it. I was doing the Earthbound thing, where you only die when you actually run out of HP after the counter runs down, not once you actually get hit. And since the counter runs at like once every few seconds, it doesn't happen immediately. No! My strategy for that is not good. 100% not good. By way of comparison, the last few levels were a lot shorter. And had more consistently spawning platforms. Actually kind of baffled as to why... Oh no. It makes sense that there's a platform there now that I think about it. It's just off screen so I couldn't see it, but it makes sense that it's there, because otherwise the thwomp would leave the screen. It's a very simple implementation. Very reasonable. Oh, what's up, Miss Idia? How you doing? I've been on this level for altogether far too long. part because I'm getting to this part at like a really bad time now. But I'm getting there. I'm getting there. That works. No, that never works. I don't like this auto-scroller. I want more auto-crawlers. Fewer auto-scrollers. So the worst part is, I highly suspect I'm gonna have to fight a boss again at the end of this. And I don't get a whole lot more HP between here and there. So I really need to be playing a lot more carefully in the first section. And way more carefully there. Actually make it across the void. Does remind me I need to, there's some more things I need to do. Mostly I just want to set up a C# environment that doesn't cause my lap to get burned. On this MacBook, whenever I boot up my Windows virtual machine, it gets hot. And part of that's because Windows wants to, like, scan all my files for viruses or something, and I legit do not want it doing that. I use it once in a blue moon. I don't need you to scan all of my files for viruses for, like, 3 hours before my computer is actually usable. Well, not dead yet. That does work, just somewhat inconsistently. Dang it! What are my thoughts on .NET Core? I think it's fine. I don't have a whole lot of... Oh no, ad purchased. I have to do something. Wait, what? Oh... What? Well, shoot. I see what you did there, and yeah, okay, fine. I'm going to need to check MIME types or something, so I think all I did was check the file name. You win this round. I'll have to fix that. But it's probably okay. I'll just prove it anyway. There you go, you get your animated ad. That will be right there as a thing I need to fix. Or I trusted my web framework just a little bit too much. But .NET Core, eh. It's nice, provided you're kind of working within that environment. We've tried to use .NET Core, and I don't actually use .NET all that often. I do like using it when I can for certain things, but I'm mostly a Mac person these days with twinges of Linux. And so there's not a lot of things I would basically write in C#, and so the most C# I tend to write in any given year is our ICFP contest entry, or at least parts of it. And the biggest problem we've run into is .NET Core really doesn't provide a good way to do GUI stuff. In the event that our ICFP project actually needs, more than text output. Which happens fairly often, I would say. When you're trying to debug things, being able to see what it's doing in real time often helps. Especially if the thing is like a bot styled competition where you're like building a bot to do something. Like the 3D printing year, we built our thing to show us how our 3D printer bots were actually working in 3D. And that was definitely not going to work on .NET Core with the tooling we're using, which is WPF, because only one of us actually writes C# for a living. So the guy who writes C# for a living often handles the GUI. It's actually Squiggles. I don't know any reason to be cagey about saying it's Squiggles. Dang it. But animated PNG files are regular PNGs with extra stuff. Not sure if yours will be different. Interesting. I assumed you renamed a GIF and I got hosed. Oh, turn on ads. I thought you bought another ad. I was very confused for a minute. I thought APNGs weren't supported by anything, but apparently I'm wrong. Like, Firefox used to support them. I want to say that there was I might still have that Chrome extension to support them. I'm gonna have to learn about these. Which is something I'm not going to do today. Well, technically today. Okay. Most modern browsers support them? Go figure! Why the hell are we still using animated GIFs then? Like, pretty much any case where you would use an animated GIF, the correct solution would be to use an animated PNG, or a MP4. This is new. It's new and I hate it. It does work, I can't argue there. You see the bouncing ball. Mostly fixed the issue. There's one bug you DM me about, worry about later. Okay. I need a brief second to let my hands chill. Imagine download it, okay. Alright, I will look at that later. That is more complicated than I'm going to deal with for a second. I think I understand the key concept. Conceit. One of the words. It's a word that starts with a C. It's a C word. Oh, no worries. I mean, it's not like that particular piece of software there is incredibly... Like, this particular ad thing I slapped together in a couple days. Like, it's a silly piece of software. I really should give up on that optimization. It's not a good jump. Canister, convene. I just liked the gag in Arrested Development, where he's like, yeah, it's the C word. He's like, that's not a nice thing to call her. And of course, the ship was actually called the C, S-E-A, word. Ward. That sort of misunderstanding-based humor was very much bread and butter on that show. Certify. I'm trying to remember. There was an interesting alphabet song that my brother played for me, which sounds strange, but bear with me. They Might Be Giants, I think, did a children's album. And they did an alphabet song which was dealing with words that have weird pronunciations compared to how they're spelled. Right, we're back in new territory. I need to focus on not dying. No! Oh, I almost made it. Went more smooth than the last time you tried to install some hardware. Fair enough. You want to listen to that? Yeah, I'll have to look it up. I want to say it's the They Might Be Giants. For some reason, I also think that it might be the Bare Naked Ladies, but that does not sound right. Pretty sure They Might Be Giants. And so, it's a cute little song. I don't think they get all the way... Oh, right, there's no friggin' platform here. I don't know if they get all the way to Z, but it's cute. Of course, the Might Be Giants are just, like, good in general. they show up in the weirdest places. Like, the first time I ever heard them was in Tiny Toon Adventures. There was an episode that was sort of all music videos, I guess you might call them. And they had Particle Man, which was a They Might Be Giant song. I want to say another one in there. Oh, Istanbul. There might have been a third one. Istanbul was Constantinople, now it's Istanbul, not Constantinople, been a long time gone, Constantinople, why did Constantinople get the works? It's nobody's business but the Turks, etc. I think maybe up there instead of down, yes. That was your same introduction as well. Well, the other weird place I found them was they collaborated relatively frequently with the Brothers Chaps. Brothers Chaps? The guys who made the Strong Bad emails. So there was a particular email, I believe it was like Better Town or something, and the entire song was composed by the Might Be Giants. To the point where like even Strong Bad was making some jokes, some sort of joke about those giant guys. Dang it. And this is now my purgatory. I want to say they did a few other things. The music of Strong Bad was also really good. I appreciated their like heavy metal parodies, like Limousine, and Tarantula, like really well done, loving parodies of metal stylings those guys did. Nope, dead. Such a good song. And it's your business, your father's side is Turkish. Fair enough. I mean, I now know the answer. It mostly had to do with, like, Crusades in the Holy Roman Empire, or something along those lines. But, I digress. Of course, the only reason I actually know that is from, like, the brief history of the world, Bill Warts thing. Which is really good. Is it accurate? No. But it's really enjoyable. And for a number of years, we've been using the hell yeah, now we got business clip for correctly solving a puzzle. Whereas when you incorrectly solve a puzzle, it's one of like, game over, yeah. I was saying boo earns. And of course, did anyone say box kites? No. Up and away. The modern box kite was originally invented as a means of drawing wet string. Okay, don't be dumb. At some point, I'll probably need to port my puzzle management system over to Discord instead of using Slack, but I really don't want to deal with all that. I guess the core stuff probably wouldn't need to change that much, just the bot end of things. Still don't want to do it. Something about don't mess with what's not broken, mostly. That worked. Shouldn't have worked, but it did. Let me up! Oh, that hurts. Yes, Bill Words. Can we go on land? No. Why not? The sun is a deadly laser. Also, there's no food, so I'm not interested. Mildly tempted to put the sun as a deadly laser as another fail sound now that I think about it, but we haven't done puzzles in like a year, so it doesn't really matter. It would be nice to get started on that again, but that is very much a weekend thing. Most people's weekends are more used up in summer than in winter, so maybe like come October, September, see if there's some interest in puzzling. Oh, come on! God, I took way too much damage there for that. That is just working way better. And that way worse. Okay. God. I've been at this level for like a few hours now. I don't know why, but the birds always seem to slow it down. It's very strange, and there's only 2 of them. I guess there's an awful lot of other sprites on the screen often, but... There we go. It's a strange spot to have lag. Nuts. I guess it doesn't even matter. I haven't seen what's after this. Maybe there's not a boss. Maybe I just move along and get another shard. Nope. Took a risk there because I didn't feel comfortable with the amount of space I had. I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm clearly doing something wrong. I'm not really sure what to do here. I get the feeling I'm making this harder on myself than it needs to be, that auto-scroller section. For one, not actually jumping onto the thing when I need to jump up. But beyond that... Yeah, I guess jumping on the thwomps is unnecessary if you're moving fast enough. So that's one thing I'm doing wrong. Stab. Dang it! It's one of my least favorite feelings whenever you get wall jump is when you bonk. Okay. Wait for it. At least I got through there with no damage. I think leaving the flaming taco down there alive helps a lot more than stabbing it. You just get more space. I thought I was gonna bonk. There we go. We finally made it out of that horrible place. It was full of fire. Oh, thank God! That level was so long! Could enjoy the tunnel for a moment. It's a nice effect. Simple, but effective. What if you could achieve it with pallet cycling? Oh. Well, shoot. Well, you might not have missed the best level. That might not have saved. No, it didn't save. Dang it, Fedora. How you doing, Yuki? Yuki Eevee. Oh, the midway saved. Lovely. Alright, not so bad. Not so bad at all. Life could be a lot worse. A lot worse. Also, before I'm gonna forget, still enjoying, yes, with a couple caveats. I've been having trouble getting that platform I was just standing on spawning sometimes. And this level, unlike pretty much every other level in this hack, I've been having some trouble with lag. I don't know if it's because you have so many sprites on screen or if the bird sprite is bizarrely heavy, but look at this. Right there. There's enough lag to make that jump be a little bit weird. And it doesn't help when the two birds from the left respawn. But that's about it. I don't think I've run into anything other weirdness. But yeah, still enjoying it. I had a lot of fun fighting, what was his name? Bolts. I really enjoyed the Bolts fight. That fight was awesome. Every single part of it. Especially loved the glass bottles on the counter, on the bar counter, that would shatter over time as bullets were thrown their way. That was beautiful. But enjoying the void, the dimensional void or time. I forget the name of the area, but the area I'm currently in, the void of something. Levels. I like the one where I went around in a big circle, honestly. I really had fun with that. Flashman stage was pretty cool. Oh wait, no, don't get away from me, bird. Okay. Yeah, I'm still having fun, I would say. Also, sup at DJ NB. Oh crap, I cannot. You know, why didn't I stop to say hello until after that? It's taken me a while to come up with good strats for this, I will admit. More than once, I think I've either overthought or underthought this. But I think I'm in a good spot here. I have to say the boss right before the midway was a bit of a surprise. But the once you can do it once sort of thing, it's not that hard to do it again. There we go. Okay, so let me catch up. What did you do? So one of the rewards here is reset the game. There's a line, a fairly trivial way to reset when USB to SNES is enabled. And so that one of the channel point rewards is resetting the game, which occasionally bites me. But say la vie. But yep. And sup DJ NB. This level is cruel, but it's your favorite. Yeah, I can see that. It was fun. They're just the auto scrollers were long. It's long sections, and then the dragon boss, who was cool. Kicked my ass the first time. The second time I got there with a lot more health and didn't have anywhere near as many problems. The fact that I presume she only had 3 HP helps, even though the parting shot was a bit of a dick move. But the immediate midway after that was fine. Probably should have anticipated it because a couple other bosses have had that sort of thing. But I was lulled into a sense of complacency. Anyway, unfortunately, since you've gotten here like right now, but I actually need to kind of call it now. I wasn't going to stream this long, but I just wanted to finish that level, and it took me a long time. So, but yeah, let's find someone who's playing something and raid them, and then hopefully, if I'm feeling well tomorrow and get ahead of some things, maybe we'll do a little bit more of this. Depending, I've got a bit of a cough thing that's been bugging me, and so I'm gonna go see some sort of medical person about it. Because, as I've said about 3 times during the stream, if certain things, if you ignore them, get a lot worse. Which is how my sister got scarlet fever, because when you don't get your strep throat treated, it turns into scarlet fever, and nobody should get scarlet fever in the 21st century. So, anyway, let's take a look at the list. There's not very many people on. Yeah, thanks, Desi. I'm on the mend, like I said. It's been that, but the cough's been persistent since I've had this since like the 26th-ish of June. It seems like it's time to go talk to somebody about it. Wow, like nobody's playing SMW, so we're gonna raid the one person playing SMW. Curtis Tridus, who is presently trying to wall clip or something. So, give me your best hi emote. I don't have a good raid message. I never do, unless we're in DOS land, so. But yeah, so thank you all for watching. I'll definitely be back on Sunday. We might do something on Saturday again. It depends upon how things work tomorrow. and possibly Friday, though much less likely than the other two. So, yeah, no, it's a fun hack. I'm still pretty happy about playing it. I would have played it regardless of moderating. This is one of those hacks that's just on the list. It must be played at some point. So, anyway, so thank you all for watching. Have a good rest of your day, good sleep, good whatever. I will see you all next time, and I'm going to push the button now. Later.